Welcome to SGL Spiritual Guiding Light. We're going to go ahead and see what messages come out for you. Hopefully you can hear me clearly. I hope all is well with you. If no one has told you that they loved you, hey, listener, I love you. And again, I hope all is well with you. I'm not blowing no smoke up your butt. I'm not trying to get a follow. I know how it feels to want to be loved. And I have a question. Did you tell yourself that you loved yourself today? This week? I want you to start, that's your assignment. I want you to start making a commitment to telling yourself that you love yourself. How do you do it? I'll give you an example. I'll tell myself that I love myself. Self, I love you. It feels really good in the time where you are seeking love outside of yourself. Okay? I need you to make it a priority to the point to where you're no longer going to be looking for love outside of yourself. So when you get those extras, that extra that you're not even expecting or looking for, that energy that's being released onto you, it becomes longevity, okay? Because it's not codependent, all right? So again, I love you, all right? And when I was referencing in the past, it's been many years where I thought I learned the lesson, and I didn't. In the past, I did not learn the lesson of independently love myself instead of looking for love outside of myself. So once you get a hold of that, the experience is validating. Okay? All right, collective. I hope all is well. My earth signs, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. I need to moisture my hands because this cardstock, excuse me, I have come to terms that when I yawn, that is my signal to let you guys know, clear out your energies, okay? And I feel like it's the energy of looking for validation outside of yourself when it comes to love. For some of you, it's compassion. As much as you may not want to admit it, it's you're wanting someone to have pity on you. Okay? Take out the time to hear you out. All right? I don't think you're looking for a point of view. I just think you're needing to vent. All right? I'm more of a typer, and I'm more of using my recorder. So, it's time to start journaling. If you know you've been needing to journal and you're not a writer with a pen and paper, then you need to start recording. All right? You make a audio journal. You can also talk to your journal. Only thing about the text to talk, the text to type, whatever you want to call it, you literally have to go back, because if you're in it, if you're like all the way in it and you are, zoned out, and when you go back and look, it's going to be so many errors. I wouldn't recommend that, but if time is of the essence for you and that's just your way of, turning over in bed and just boom, press record and talk to your journal, if that works for you, that works for you. But I just don't want you to go back to reflect, to look at your growth, and you're like, what was I talking about? I told you. So, if you're not a journal, if you're not a person who likes to write, you're too busy at this time, your mind is occupied with other thoughts, okay, and you're not ready to discipline yourself in that area. There's other ways that you can be able to express yourself. You know what? They have 1-800 numbers people think crisis lines are just for domestic violence or suicide and things like that. No, they have crisis lines and hotlines where there's someone who is available 24/7 to help you get through whatever it is that you're going through. So if you need someone to talk to, I'll say this, correction. If you need someone to vent to, try one of those whatever. Ooh, excuse me. Try one of those 1-800 numbers. I have not tried it. I just channeled that. I haven't called one of those numbers before. I know probably when I was like back in the day, years back in the day, I did call a crisis number one time, because I wanted to be private. I didn't want to talk to close family members about what I was going through. And it wasn't a suicide number, it was a mental health number. And it didn't work for me because I answered my own question. And I remember I was upset because the person wasn't trained. They were just volunteering. And I wasn't mean to them, but I just said, I remember reflecting to them, and I was like, what if this really was a life and death situation? You wouldn't have been able to. I acknowledge their volunteering, because a lot of people are not going to sit by a phone and volunteer to be a support system for people. Okay? So I just remember it didn't work for me. You know what I mean? And I remember I was just looking for advice on how to sort out what I was feeling, because the reason why I was feeling a type of way that day was because I was being targeted as the outcast in the family. And, it was just difficult to feel like you're alone in this big world. And so I just wanted to tell y'all my experience. Everyone's experience is not going to be the same, but it doesn't hurt to try. Okay, so those are some things that you can do. I don't know if they have it to where they have subscriptions where people make themselves available just to hear them vent. I don't know, but I just I don't know. I'm getting this. I'm like, okay, divine, all right. Maybe that's my calling. Not to give advice, but to just show up and be a listening ear. You know what I mean? Maybe that's what you need to do. Make yourself available, charge a subscription, and let the phone ring and listen to people vent. Okay? I would not make myself accessible for anybody who's suicidal. No, I would make that very, very clear in the disclaimer. This is not a suicide. This is just a outlet where you're actually talking to a real human being. Not an operator, not random, just fake text messages. No, you're really talking to, for instance, me as example, SGO. Hey, this is SGO Spiritual Guide and Light. What is on your mind? Boom, you got the floor. You pay for your time, basically. You need 15 minutes, you need 30 minutes, you need an hour. Okay. You need a day. Okay, that's a fee. I have a life too, but I definitely will answer my phone and I will talk to you. I will put you in my day. But you got to understand that. You know what I mean? I got to go to the bathroom. I have to take a shower. You know, I do have a job too. But I will pick up my phone and acknowledge your services that you asked for. I don't know. That's up in the air. And if you're interested in providing that service, be more than free to do so. All inquiries, email spiritualguideandlight@gmail.com. I really don't know how that will work, because there are crazy people out in the world where, you know, they'll pay for a service. Let's say they pay for 15 minutes to vent. You know, you have people who know, you know, when I say there's crazy people out there, what I mean is people will abuse a service. And that's not what this is. You get what I'm saying? Where there's people who really, like, it is the worst feeling. It's one of the worst feelings. It's one of the uncomfortable feelings to feel alone. And you know, the people you want to communicate with, they're not available. You know what I mean? Or you've outgrown the people that you used to communicate with, and there's this void that you're trying to fill. But we're not filling voids. What we're doing is recreating. And I want you to recreate. You know, renew. If you've outgrown your social circle or whoever you have connections with, then I need you to renew you, restore you. Be a new version of yourself, because you being the old version of yourself, you're going to just repeat the same experience with new connections that come in. All right, so I'm shuffling this deck. We have readings available on YouTube. All right. I don't like when I feel pressured as if I'm trying too hard, because I like the SGO podcast to feel like it's a one-on-one session. You know what I mean? I don't like to feel pressure to make me feel like I'm trying hard or like I have to rush to get the message out. Like, I don't like to feel like that at all. I want the SGO podcast to be authentic as possible. Every session, I want it to feel like a one-on-one. You know? So, if you are looking for a reader and I'm not fitting that caliber, I have an open door policy. You're more than welcome to come back. I'm not saying this to shush you away. I'm just wanting you to be aware that tarot land is huge, okay? And so, you know, you can go back and find the tarot reader that will best suit you at this time, and you're more than welcome to come back whenever you need to. Okay. What else? And for those of you who have fast forward this session, and welcome to SGO Spiritual Guide and Light. All right. Obviously, you need to slow down, because you may miss important messages, and just in life in general. Okay, you're being asked to slow down. Okay. All right, what messages do you have for my collective earth, air, fire, and water signs? My earth signs: Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. Welcome to SGO podcast. My water signs: Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces. Welcome to SGO Spiritual Guide and Light. My fire signs: Leo, Aries, Sagittarius. Welcome to SGO Spiritual Guide and Light. And my water signs: Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces. Welcome to SGO Spiritual Guide and Light. If you're already following the podcast, I highly appreciate it. For those of you, so that you know, it costs you nothing to follow SGO, because I don't charge for subscriptions. So, to make the numbers count, I need you to download Spotify, okay, and then follow SGO podcast. I'll highly appreciate it, so I can get those numbers up. Thank you. What else? I don't have a channel message. besides that one message was to slow down. Someone needs to slow down. Whoever tries to speed up the process, you need to slow down. Whether that's people, places, or things. Okay. Yeah. What messages do you have for my collective, please? What is the message you have for my let me say this. What does the collective need to know? That sounds a little bit better. What does the collective need to know? You have the Two of Swords. I mean, the Page of Swords. You have the Page of Swords here. Okay. Page of Swords. Take your time to think before you act. Didn't I just say? I said somebody needs to slow down. And the Two of Swords came out. Okay? The Two of Swords is right here. And it says, I keep saying Two of Swords. It's not the Two of Swords. It's the Page of Swords. Okay? And it says, take your time to think before you act. Okay? Don't be too quick to make a decision. Don't be too quick to judge anybody. Don't be too quick to speak, because you might not know what you're talking about. Or you may say something I have a question. Do you feel like, I'm seeing the energy in this Page of a Sword, like as if there's somebody, like whoever you communicate with, like you're talking to them and they're not there, and you have to call their name and they're like, huh? And you're like, you're not listening to me. And they're like, yeah, I was listening. And it's like, okay, well, tell me what I said. And it's like, I was listening, but in reality, they weren't listening. They were somewhere else in their mind. And you see that this person doesn't have no interest. This doesn't have to be a romantic interest or an ex. This could literally be someone that you can consider family or friends, or a friend, like, you know, a platonic friend, where you're talking to them, you're looking at them, they're not looking at you, and their mind is somewhere else. And then when you bring them back and you make them aware that they're not listening to you, do you feel some type of way? And if you feel some type of way, do you still stay around that person knowing that they don't want to, it's not that they don't want to be bothered with you. You're not their priority right now. Whatever is on their mind, that's the priority, and they're trying to figure out how to get that priority to make it happen. Whoever this is good at whoever this person is that's ignoring you knows how to manifest. All right? They know how to manifest. If you feel tired, if you feel restless with this Page of Swords, it's obvious that right now something is just, you know, it's something that you have to accept when it comes to responsibilities. You know, some of you in the collective could just literally be tired of, you know, the responsibilities of maintaining life. not living, but just maintaining life. Like you no longer want to conform to what the public is supposed to be required to do on a daily and a weekly basis. You know, it's not giving me that you want to get off the grid energy. It's giving me like, you want to do what you want to do. And I'm being guided to tell you now is not the time to put anyone in their place, because it can backfire. Now is not the time to boast. If you are restless, there's no hiding it. So it's not like you have to constantly remind people that you're restless. You know, if you need assistance, then you need to ask. But if you know you can do it yourself, don't ask. Okay? Why is the Page of Swords here? 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 If it feels like I'm talking too loud, it's not. You have the Emperor coming in reverse. So there's no masculine energy here. For some of you, there's no father figure. Others of you, you're tired of being in masculine energy. You're just tired of having to do everything on your own. Don't be so quick to judge someone because someone just may show up to help you, to assist you. You don't want to run them off. It's either by what you say or how you do something. Don't make anyone feel like you don't need them. Now, if you're being disrespected in some type of form or fashion, then you have every right to hold those boundaries up. I need you to protect yourself. Mind, body, and soul. Don't allow anyone to abuse you. Verbal abuse. I'm talking about verbal abuse. I'm not talking about DV. Okay? I'm not channeling domestic violence. I'm just, it's just don't allow anyone to, don't give anyone your power and even having the slightest thought that they have control over you. But there's assistance hidden. I can't see it, but I can see it. You get what I'm saying? With the Emperor in reverse, with the Page of Swords. You may be finding yourself helping someone that you never thought that you would be helping. It's something like that. Someone's coming through, but there's this side note where it's like, if you can do it yourself, push through it and do it yourself so that no one can throw it in your face. Okay? I totally understand this energy where, as a woman, you having to always be independent and self-sufficient, it sometimes it can be restless. You can become restless because you don't want to be in that masculine energy. There's many times where I'm like, I just want to embrace my feminine. I just want to be feminine. I want to be girly. I want to, and it's like, I can't. There's many times where I'm not able to be in that role because I have so many, and I don't want to genderize roles, but that's how it is in my life. Okay. And it's like, goodness gracious, I don't want to keep being in this masculine energy. I want to be girly today. I don't want to do anything that were the normal role of a masculine energy. There's no gender here, but a masculine energy enjoys doing. You get what I'm saying? And it just, that's what I see here. Where someone is, you have no other choice. What lacks is what you have to step up and do. And it's tiring. I'm not trying to make this session about me, but, you know, you're going to have to go within. All right? You're going to have to face what lacks, what's absent, and replace it. Whether you're replacing it and then allowing yourself to call in that assistance that's going to take that responsibility off your hand. Because I see that too. What's the outcome of the Page of Swords and the Emperor in reverse? So some of you guys are going to have to, you know, accept the role that you play right now. And I mean, be the best that you can, because so that you can attract assistance. And I'm not talking about no freeloading stuff. I'm talking about someone that's willing to be a part of your life if that's what you're seeking. You fill in the blank. Is it family? Is it a father figure? You know what I mean? Is it someone that's another gender with heavy masculine energy? I don't know. But all I know is you're being asked to dominate that role, and whatever it is that's tiring, that makes you restless, dominate that and it's going to attract some type of assistance. I have 1, 2, 3, 4 cards here. You have the Chariot in reverse. See, yep. You're going to have to show up for yourself. The Hangman, the Chariot is coming in reverse. The Hangman. So this is telling me people have showed up for you, but they didn't do their part. It's like people making promises that they can't keep, or stagnant people that are dead weight. And then you have the Four of Swords in reverse, restless, confirmed again. And then you have the Page of Wands in reverse. You don't even have time for yourself. You don't have time. You may feel unattractive. You may feel, you know, this restless energy. There's things you want to do for yourself, or pertaining to self-care. You might not be able to. Collective, hear me out. When you feel like you are losing yourself, or when you feel like you're having to prioritize certain responsibilities over yourself, I need you to really be honest with yourself, with confessing to yourself with honesty. Where is your time being spent when you are not handling priorities? When you have downtime, what are you doing with that downtime? Okay. Are you wasting that downtime? Are excuses being extended? How long has the same excuse been stated? A month, a week? It's like saying you're going to do something and you never get to it. And I'm talking about you. How are we going to remove this restlessness so that it looks good? I don't want you to be tired. I don't want you to look tired. I want you to look your best. I want you to attract your heart's desires. But I don't want you to rush it either. Because the beginning of this session, it says something about don't rush. And with the Page of Wands, with the Page of Swords, it literally says, take your time to think before you act. So some of you, what you think your heart desires or what it is that you need is a lust. It's not what you need. Something about prioritizing. All right, what is the advice? What is the advice for the collective Earth, Air, Fire, and Water signs? Your advice is the Page of Cups. I can't see what you see. And so you're going to have to show action. Okay? But the advice here, it says, don't let your emotions get in the way. So for some of y'all, that's the answer. That's the reason why you're unable to prioritize. That's the reason why you are restless, because it's your emotions that is draining you and beating you up. Your emotions is taking a toll on you. I need you to work on that. I love you. Don't forget, love is kind, love is gentle, till we meet again.